Conservative MP Bob Stewart, who told activists to go back to Bahrain, is found guilty of racial abuse. Don't know about you, but that sounds pretty obvious when you're telling someone to go back to their country. I'm going to read into this more from Sky News, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from Sky News with a headline that Conservative MP Bob Stewart, who told activists to go back to Bahrain, is found guilty of racial abuse. Bob Stewart showed racial hostility towards a protester during a demonstration outside a Foreign Office building, the court heard. He said more than that, which we're going to read into, but you know, there is a way of talking to people, and the way he spoke to them is pretty disgusting, pretty unprofessional. Especially if you're an MP, you're supposed to be representing your constituents, and he does not, in any way, shape, or form, represent the constituency that he is in with that kind of language. It's unacceptable, it's inappropriate, and I hope he has the whip removed from him. But then again, we were kind of hoping that Suella Braverman would be kicked from her position with the language that she uses, but we haven't had that yet. But again, it's just another sleaze again, and another reminder, like, how many of these do they need to throw at? Like, this is just more ammunition that Labour and the rest of the opposition parties just need to throw at people when it comes to the general election. Look at all these MPs, look at all these sexual allegations, racial abuse and abuse and all this stuff, Partygate, scandal after scandal. You just need to just put it in front of people and say, look at all this stuff, look at all this stuff, just put it all in front of them. Yeah, when you go to the letterbox, yeah, this is to the MPs, yeah, put this all in front of them and your candidate, put this all in front of them on the doorsteps to these people and say, you know, or how about literally you could have a game here with people, go out on the high street and literally have all these people have like a wall full of all these MPs' faces and basically say, pick someone that you think is a good MP, and you pull up and you show every single one of their allegations that they've been appropriated in, and eventually you show every single one and they say these are all and then you tell them that these are all Conservative MPs. Does it make you still want to vote Conservative? You know, psychology plays into the role of convincing people not to vote Conservative as well. Crazy idea, but someone may do it. A Conservative MP has been found guilty of racially abusing an activist by telling them to go back to Bahrain. Bob Stewart showed racial hostility towards a protester during demonstration outside a Foreign Office building, the court heard. The MP for Beckenham in South East London told activist Sayed Ahmed Alwadaei, "You're taking money off my country, go away," during a row in Westminster on December the 14th last year. What do you mean taking money off my country? On what premise do you know that? On what premise do you have evidence to say such a stupid thing? Mr. Alwadaei shouted, "Bob Stewart, how much did you sell yourself to the Bahrain regime?" During the heated exchange, Stewart replied, "Go away, I hate you, you make a lot of fuss, go back to Bahrain." In the footage played during the trial at Westminster Magistrates Court on Friday, he also said, "Now shut up, you stupid man." And that's an MP. That's in the Conservative MP, yeah? Telling people to shut up just because they disagree with that protesters' feelings. The Chief Magistrate, Paul Goldspring, found the MP guilty of racially aggravated public order offensive. He said Stewart will not be jailed. Of course he won't. The Liberal Democrats have called for Rishi Sunak to kick Stewart out of the Parliamentary Conservative Party. I'd like to think so. Metropolitan Police has launched an investigation into the incident after a complaint was made by Mr. Alwadaei, who said that he was living in exile after being tortured in the Gulf state. During the one-day trial, Mr. Alwadaei alleged that Bahrain was corrupt and a human rights violator and said it was his right to protest against an MP's involvement with the state. Asked how he felt after the incident, the activist said, "I feel that I was dehumanised, like I was someone who was not welcome to the UK. Because of my skin colour, because of where I come from, he feels I am taking money from his country." Mr. Alwadaei also claimed that if he returned to Bahrain, he would undoubtedly be killed and tortured. Prosecutor Paul Jarvis said Stewart had demonetized racial hostility towards Mr. Alwadaei by the way of his comments, and while he was not motivated by racial hostility, he had demonstrated it. In response to the accusation, the MP said it was absurd and totally unfair and stated he was not a racist. You just literally stated it. It's on video. You can't argue that. I'm sorry. Absurd and totally unfair. It's blatant there for everyone to see. I was just going to scroll up. What did he say? Shut up, you stupid man. Go away, I hate you. You make a lot of fuss. Go back to Bahrain. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. It seems a bit blatant to me. What a disgusting individual to make that absurdity. He added, my life has been, I don't want to say destroyed, but I am deeply hurt having to appear in a court like this. Oh, what a shame. Maybe you should have thought about that before you made such ridiculous comments then. The 74-year-old politician told the court that he had no idea who Mr. Alwadaei was when the incident occurred and that he used his words hate because of what the protester was saying. Stewart added, go back to Bahrain meant why do you go back to Bahrain and make your point there? You have no right to tell someone to go back to their country. Honour at stake. After he accused Mr. Alwadaei of taking money from the UK, the MP said, I made the assumption he too was living in the country and was benefiting from living in this country. I certainly didn't mean he was a freeloader. Of course, that's exactly what you were meant. But he defended his reaction to the protester telling the court, he was saying I was corrupt and that I had taken money. My honour was at stake in front of a large number of ambassadors. It upset me and I thought it was extremely offensive. And you don't think your comments were extremely offensive? Absolute terrible individual to make such remarks. A sad little man is what he is to make such terrible remarks. I hope he does get removed, and I hope the constituencies of people in Beckenham see through this and see what the kind of a man he is to make such remarks. I think it's absolutely bang out of order to make such comments, and even if that man was not from Bahrain, even if he had not gone through what he had been through, just to be able to talk to people like that is absolutely disgusting. You may not disagree with people, but you are an MP serving constituents and you have a right to speak, and the way you speak to people really matters. And I've seen the video, guys. The way he spoke to him was absolutely unprofessional in every way, shape or form. And it's just out of order, completely out of order. But what do you guys think of this? Another Tory MP found guilty of racial abuse. The allegations and abuse and sexual allegations, all these things are piling up on Conservative MPs. Should he have the whip removed? Should Rishi Sunak kick him from the party? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You know where I stand on it, but I'd like to know where you guys stand. Like, share and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.